friends, this is Mohan Raghavan, and today we are going to see Internet of Things, IoT. So we will see the brief introduction about the Internet of Things, because in going forward session we will be working with devices and we will try to do some small experiments on the Internet of Things. So before starting we will go by one. So Internet of Things. So in everyday life we will be using different kinds of things for our daily purpose, right? For example, we will be using our vehicles, or we will be using our, let's say, household appliances, or we will be using our mobile, laptop, watch, or CCTV camera, so many things. Currently we have different kinds of things which will work by itself and it will have the intelligence to do something by itself. But however, we have to do the triggering for the devices. For example, if you want to do some, let's say, CCTV camera, you need to fix it and you need to have a control over that, and you need to switch on and you need to give the power supply to that. So this all will be required that. And however, it will not give the data or it will not give your recording directly to your laptop. So manually you will be taking that recording to your laptop and you will be using for your different purposes. Or let's say it will not upload directly to your cloud server. So we need to do by some kind of automation kind of thing. But however, here the things, here different kinds of things are available. For example, GPS system, or let's say in home you have the lighting system, or let's say irrigation system, or let's say you have the vehicle system. But this system works perfectly with alone. But however, Internet of Things will be working the combination of all these things. That means that every device will interact with other device and share the data with each other. So that will be called as Internet of Things. In Internet of Things, we will be having different terminologies, or let's say different activities we will be doing in future sessions. But however, basic things will be like sensors and devices, connectivity, cloud, real-time process, and scalable. So first we will go with sensor and devices. We already saw what are the devices we will be using every day, and however some devices will not directly interact, we will be having the sensors. For example, if you want to measure the temperature, you will be having the temperature sensor or actuator. So that will be sensing your temperature and it will be giving into electrical signal or heat signal. That will be converted into your, let's say, electronic units, or let's say something other units which we will be saving into our systems. So those are called sensor and devices. Next one, connectivity. However, the devices has to be connected to each other. Nowadays we have different technologies such as like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or LAN, different kind of technologies to connect each devices with other devices. Now another point, how you are connecting with each device, which protocol you are going to use, that are the different concepts that we will be seeing in coming sessions. But however, you will note it down. There is nothing like simply you can connect to other devices. There is a protocol, because there should be agreement from the devices from one device to another device in which format they are going to communicate. So that will be coming under the protocol. And next one, cloud. So there are two kind of Internet of Things will be available. For example, if you connect devices itself with each other, that will be the interconnectivity. That means that the devices are connected to each other, but it is not connected to the cloud. So that will be the first type. In other case, you will be having the cloud internally, and each device will be connected to each other as well. Same time it will be connected to the cloud as well. So that means that your data or your information not only with across the devices, it will be available in the cloud itself. So that means that from the cloud, any device can get the other devices information and work accordingly. So that is called Internet of Things. And next one, data, real-time process. Let's say you are collecting the different information from the different areas. For example, Uber cabs, you will be getting the information about where the cab actually traveling now, or let's say you will be getting the information from the vehicle, how much speed it's going, or you will be getting the information from your smartwatch, how many steps you are walking, or let's say how many weight, or let's say how many blood pressure you have. So many let's say medical related information will be getting into your IoT devices. So that devices actually it will feed into the cloud. So from the cloud, whenever you want the information, you need to get in real-time process. That means that it should not have more time to get the information. It should be as soon as you update, that should be available to all the devices. Because for in critical applications, the data should be available to the other devices or to the other areas in a real time. In real time in the sense, it will not take a milliseconds also. It will be less than that. So those think of information will be called as real-time process data. Next one, scalable. So currently we have, let's say, more than 6 billion of devices are connected to the cloud. So that means that day by day the things which are connected to the internet that are increasing. So in that scenario, in future we need to have a a different kind of scalable Internet of Things. That means that it should be scalable in the sense it should be improved in the amount of, let's say, the number of devices or the number of bandwidth. So those things should be improved and it should be scalable in vertical and horizontal, or you can say diagonal as well. So again, what is scalable, that we will see in a separate video, but in a simple way you can understand, like it should be, let's say, expandable. So this is about the scalable. And one more thing we discussed, so each device, it has to identify other device with a unique name. So that will be called as IP name. So currently we will be using the IPv6 name. However, in future even it will not be enough, because it will allow some number of let's say list of names, unique names available for the each device. But however, this also having some exhausting limit. So when you reach the exhaust limit, again you don't have the unique name for the new devices. So that scenario, the people will be coming with the new naming convention or the naming way to have the unique name for each devices. So those also we will be seeing in the coming sessions. Again, however, this will be like a big picture. In nutshell, you need to start with small ABCD. So it's not like you will be directly having the IT experience. You can directly do the things only if you know some language or something, because the system and other things will be like only the, let's say, computer point of view. For example, if you go into the Internet of Things, not only the system, as you see here, there will be lot of devices will be available and it will have its own characteristics, and real time it will be working with a different physical parameters. For example, it may be having more temperature at that place, or it may be having very less temperature, or it may be having more, let's say if we are in the vehicle, that may be having always in the movement. So that will be the different criteria for the devices which are available inside this one. And one more thing, these devices will not have much memory like our hard disk. So it may be having very less memory. So your code or your communication should be happening in a very lightweight. So those things also we need to consider when you design the IoT devices. And again, there are a lot of embedded systems are available. So we need to have a basic understanding about the embedded system, as well as a little knowledge about the electronic devices. So the basics about the electronic device, again, if you go into each topic, it will take more time to understand, because it will having the vast area, right? So rather than going into the theory part, in coming sessions we will look into the different devices, or what are the pre-setup required for the IoT devices or IoT learning. For example, you need to have a breadboard, or let's say you need to have a multimeter, you should be having some Raspberry Pi, or say Adreno. At least you should be having the basic components of the electronics, such as like resistor, inductor, capacitor, or say LED. So even LED looks like very simple item, because the LED made a great revolution in the lighting industry. There are a lot of saving in the LED, and unlike our normal traditional bulbs, you can just control the intensity of the light as well, and it in turn will save the power also. So the LED itself having a different kind of, let's say, revolution in the industry. In the same way, every device has its own implementation of the IoT, and it is giving more efficient way, and it makes the people very comfort. For example, you can take the Uber cabs, or let's say in IoT of things, nowadays they are start using the biocapsule. So biocapsule, in the sense, a capsule will be given to you. It's actually not a medicine. It will be sticking into your stomach for at least minimum 2 or 3 days, and by the time it will give your entire body information to the, let's say, medical department. So even we went to that level. Even you can consider the smartwatch also. The smartwatch connects with you and it will tells you how many steps you took, or let's say how much blood pressure you have and how much sugar you have. Even if there are more advantages of smartwatches also available, and it connects with other devices like your laptop, your Gmail account, or let's say your home also. Let's say your vehicle is reaching your home, before 5 kilometers, it will switch on your coffee maker and it will make a coffee for you. Or let's say if the water is leaking out, so it will find it out and it will tell you how much water is wasted and how you can prevent this one. Even a funny example is like in China, they have mentioned like the plants will be tweeting the system owner, or the plants will be tweeting how much water they want. If it is getting dry, it will tweet it to get the water for the just growing. or it will connect to the weathercast network, and it will see tomorrow it's going to rain, so irrigation system is not required for that plant. So there are a lot of available things in the Internet of Things. Again, rather than speaking more on the IoT things or the more theory, how it evolved or what are the people are doing, so other than that, we will start with our small ABCD kind of thing. So we will start with the small applications, and we will just develop a small IoT projects, and we will see further. So just we will continue the session for the following whatever we discuss. So this is all about the IoT introduction. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.